Hello, sound check.
Sound check.
Sound check, sound check.
Sound check. Check the sound. Yeah, okay na okay. Thank you.
Sound check.
Sound check, mic test. Okay po. Wait. Mic test. 3, 2, 1. Yes po. Okay po.
Moving in. Oh, wow. What a knock-o-matic finish. Knocks down to 3. Yes, sir. Mark Ping is going right at Simon Sandagon. Got the basket and one.
Live from the middle of the metro, we bring you the third of 3 games here in our 2026 MPBL preseason invitational. And we are going to have our third and final game as we see Will Macaloni and the rest of our Quezon Huskers go up against Ilagan City Cowboys. And we also see Sed Manzano against Josh Giab and the rest of the Cowboys. A beautiful big man matchup we'll be seeing right here. Miguel Ona as well on the side of the Cowboys. This is going to be a tough inside matchup as we see Quezon Huskers versus the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys. Magandang gabi mga kaliga. I am Juanito Gregorio alongside Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, 2 tough games already. Now we have our third one. How excited are you here in our third game?
I feel we're gonna get a quality preseason game tonight with the Quezon Huskers and the Ilagan Cowboys. Primarily because both these teams figured out in the playoffs last season, and if it's going to be an audition for roster spots, that's the plan. Magandang pagkakataon ito para sa kanilang mga players.
Oh, the first 2 games were terrific. But alongside with us is going to be Daphne Cristobal. Daphne, are you excited with us here in our last game?
Hello, Anito and Coach Mike. Very excited ako at agree ako kay Coach Mike na magiging quality. Ito, Bella, wala tayong Donald Gumalo sa larong ito at wala ring Art de la Cruz, pero meron silang isang homegrown talent who'll be playing for the very first time at syempre they really want to take pride of Ilagan Isabela itself, no, to just really show off kung anong meron para sa kanilang probinsya, and that's gonna be Bongga Lanza, so let's watch out for more.
Now we do know the toughness being brought in by Coach Louie Gonzalez. Of course, we also want to say hi to all of our viewers in Facebook and YouTube, and of course, everybody, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat as we're gonna have a beautiful last game here in the MPBL. But first, let's talk about Joshua Hierro and the Quezon Huskers. Joshua Hierro playing quality minutes in their last game, 12 points, 4 of 7. But what stands out the most, Coach, is only the 11 minutes of play for Joshua Hierro.
Oh, given the limited minutes that he had 12 points, 3 rebounds on a 4 of 7 shooting. He was instant off the bench, provided the scoring burst in 3 key stretches of the game. I think one of the observations of mine is that ngayon ni-involve nila sa opensa itong si Joshua Hierro, but before really more on the defensive end, but now he does start still on the defensive end, but he's getting touches on making shots.
Now, Wawa Hierro, really one of the guys proving to be a big difference para dito sa Quezon Huskers. But on the way, on the other side, Ilagan with their big man, Joshua Giab, one of the guys that will really be playing a big role, especially going up against a very strong front court in the Quezon Huskers. 12 points and 6 rebounds in their last game, Coach.
Yeah, high efficiency scoring and active off the glass. Very reliable finisher inside the paint and even in transition. Just some of the things that Giab can actually give you para dito sa Ilagan.
Well, toughness is one thing that Josh Giab can really give for the Ilagan City Cowboys. But first, let's turn it over to Miguel Pire for our opening.
Cowboys. Live on the 2026 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Preseason Invitational. Here are the starters, beginning with the Quezon Huskers. Starting at forward number 8, Christian Pagaran. Also at forward number 10, Cedric Manzano. Playing center number 14, Will Macaloni. At guard number 15, Cyrus the Righteous Tabi. And at guard number 2, Judel Fuentes. The head coach for the Quezon Huskers is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Richie Tixon, Ed De La Torre, Luis Solasco, Jonathan De Guzman, Nas Rosella, Bernard De Guia, and Councilor Jeric Teng. Team manager is Attorney Don Capunan. The team owners are Governor Dr. Helen Tan, Congressman Mike Tan, and Mayor Ralph Lim. Here comes the starting 5 for Ilagan Isabela, 5-star Cowboys. Starting at guard, number 27, JL De Los Santos. Also at guard, number 54, Bongga Lanza. At center, number 11, Miguel Ona. Forward, number 7, JP Camilan. Also at forward, number 5, Joshua Giab. Head coach for the Cowboys is Louie Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Mixon Ramos, Eric De La Cuesta, Hans Robles, Alex Calveng, and Ethel Tacorda. Coaching consultant is Glenn Capasio. Team managers Vice Mayor Dave Diaz, Board Member EJ Diaz, and Joji Fournier. Team governors Ricky Lagi and Joey Fournier. The team owners are Jayo Diaz, Governor Rodito Albano, and Mayor Jay Diaz. Reference for this ballgame are crew chief Seth Pingo,
Happy
number 1.
Fuentes, Macaloni, Manzano, and Pagaran for Quezon. And on the side of Ilagan, De Los Santos, Galanza, Ona, Kawilan, and Josh Guillaume. A good mix of young and veterans here in this ball game. A very exciting matchup in front of us. You know, Quezon really bannering that strong front court right away. Macaloni and Manzano.
Oh, ganda ng mga additions na yan on the big spot. Both guys actually complement each other in my opinion. Of course, Will Macaloni, well, he's a big, magandang gamiting delay na big yan. Sa ibabaw, complement also the three-point shooting of the guys.
And with, of course, that big, there will be a lot of space as Judel Fuentes gets his first three of the ball game. 3-0 in favor of the Huskers.
If there is one thing noticeable when it's about the roster of Ilagan, they definitely worked on three-point shot making, which I feel they missed from last season. In doing that, it allows them to create more space inside the paint, guys moving, space for guys like Art De La Cruz to operate on.
And obviously, Coach Louis Gonzalez is getting a lot more help here in the season, and that is a tough shot para dito kay Miguel Ona, but gets his first two of the ball game.
Yep.
A little motion action para dito sa Quezon. Cyrus Tabi goes post to Will Macaloni, trying to challenge the front court right away. Macaloni powering his way inside. That's going to be a foul on Ona on the help.
Yep. Good read by Will Macaloni. He understood that he had JP Kawilan on him. Definitely you got to put him down on the low block, make him work. But again, the defensive rotation naman of Ilagan understands there is going to be possibly a drop step or spin down the middle to Isnando si Miguel Ona to try and counter that.
You actually see, Coach, the size of Ilagan. They are not small as well. They're putting Ona.
Yes.
They're putting Kawilan and Guillaume. So they're trying to challenge really. Now Cyrus Tabi with a fake, getting the jumper. Doesn't go in. Early substitutions for Quezon Huskers, putting in Mike Cañete to put in a little space.
Yes. Tsaka ang ganda ng ang ganda ng mga additional na mga players for both Quezon and Ilagan. I like Mike Cañete being in there. I like especially Cyrus Tabi. I mean, you lose LJ Gonzalez, you bring in Cyrus Tabi, iba rin ang binibigay.
A beautiful give and go from Miguel Ona going to JL De Los Santos in that last play.
And I tell you, ang Ilagan will never run out of schemes on the offensive end. Coach Mixon, Coach Louie, Coach Alex, those guys know what, different schemes.
You know, Coach, both as basketball nerds, mag-e-enjoy tayo sa larong ito.
My
and we will be
goodness.
leading a lot of situations here. Guillaume goes post. Oh, what a spin against Cañete. Cañete left in the dust there. Pati siya nagulat sa spin move ni Josh Guillaume.
The analytics will tell you. Meantime, this shot right here by Christian Pagaran, the last time we mentioned his name, that three in the finals, oh my. I saw him earlier downstairs. Sabi ko, grabe yung tinira mo na yun. That would have been a deal breaker. Di ba magiging trend? Sabi niya, oo nga, pero ganun po talaga eh.
Art De La Cruz still here, but he will not be playing here today para sa City of Ilagan. But he is very proud. You see, Coach, the T-shirt really
yes.
saying City of Ilagan, and he is one of the holdovers. But Coach, let's talk about Josh Guillaume. So he started his MPBL career more of a screener, a rebounder, a role player. But now he is getting a lot more burn, a bigger role for Coach Louie. How much growth has he had here in the MPBL?
I think just the confidence to be able to understand, I gotta make shots. First, I gotta take them, then I gotta make them. Napakahalaga yun para kay Josh Guillaume. Why? Because builds up confidence. Hindi yung papasahan mo lang, you know what you're doing. You clearly understand your role on the defensive end, but to bring him up to speed on the offensive side, clearly a different facet altogether for Josh.
That's one of the things that we are enjoying about Josh Guillaume. More confidence, and obviously lumalabas talaga ang laro ni Josh Guillaume.
Tsaka natural na lumalabas eh.
Fuentes for his second three misses. No basket. Just at the right place at the right time for Ced Manzano getting that rebound, but all will be down.
He's a handful sa loob. Una-una, ang lakas ng katawan. It's not easy to dislodge him, and he's got really good basketball IQ inside the paint.
One of the reasons why Ilagan will now be trooping in former Quezon Husker in Otep Gabayni.
Oh yes.
Na adding size para dito sa Ilagan City Cowboys. Post the basket for Sed Manzano.
Right, without even putting the ball on the floor.
Ilagan goes corner. Goes to Kawilan up top. Kawilan playing the 3 position here for Ilagan.
Right now, some of the things that you noticeably changed, nakita mo nagbago dito sa Ilagan. You're seeing more flares, more staggers, screenaways, back picks, ghost screens, just like this one here. That back pick by JL De Los Santos.
Coach, I don't know if it's just me, pero medyo binago ni JL ang kanyang shooting form. But it looks better at
Yes.
this angle. So
Yes.
let's see if it is going to work to his advantage. But talk about shooting. Cyrus Tavi given a little space, making that 3-point shot.
When the season started in season 7, a lot of people were questioning yung mga ibang tira ni Cyrus Tavi sa labas. But as that season went on for the Voyagers, clearly he's the main point guy in terms of scoring, lalo na with the exit of Lawrence Victoria and Warren Bonifacio.
When I was once teammates with Cyrus Tavi for a short while, this guy was not really one of the best shooters, but he really tried and improved on that part of his game.
Tsaka hard-nosed din, on the defensive side.
Quick rotations for the Quezon Huskers with Macaloni will be trooping over.
Yeah, Mongalasa made a mistake of going under that screen. We talked about the 3-point shooting of Cyrus Tavi. That definitely is something that he's taken from the previous season and improving some more here in season 8.
Christian Pagaran to the inbound. Quick give and go. Christian Pagaran showing his skill. Christian Pagaran is a little too short on that shot attempt.
One might say, sabi nito Otep, kabisado ko na yan. Scrimmage natin last year.
Kilalang kilala ni Otep Gabayani. They were together for a full year
Oh, yeah.
with the Quezon Huskers. If there's one guy that will really know the Quezon Huskers, it's going to be Otep Gabayani.
Yeah.
Otep looking for a handoff. Prince Rivero, also a former Husker. Fakes, takes, and makes.
Yeah.
Para dito kay Prince Rivero getting his first 2 of the ball game.
One other thing that they've really elevated for the Cowboys is toughness. You bring in Prince, you bring in Otep, and really, kung labanan sa loob pwestuhan, alam mo meron ka ng piyesa.
We're talking about the inside, but now the outside game is working for the Huskers. Pagaran now getting the second 3 for the Quezon Huskers early in this ball game. We're having a high-scoring ball game, 11-8.
Oh, and alam naman natin kung 3-point shooting rin lang ang pag-uusapan, the Huskers are never gonna shy away from it.
Manny paid the digital wallet built for the community. Gonna be a miss for Jadel Fuentes in that last play. De Los Santos eating things up, goes to Galanza. Galanza for the 3. Nothing there, a little push coming from Otep.
And again, shots immediately on the first 8 seconds of your shot clock. That's what both these teams have been doing. If you have a chance to run, then go run it. Make or miss, we go and run.
We saw a quick-paced ball game coming from Muntinlupa and Pasay in our second game today. It looks like Isabela will be trying to do the same thing here. They've added a lot of offensive power here in their offense. So we'll see if that will work on the side of Coach Louie.
And Abate now on the floor for the Huskers.
Exciting new talent for the Quezon Huskers. John Abate, 6'1" point guard, coming from the University of the East.
That time medyo parang miscom between Will and Abate. Abate thought maybe that he was going to come on a little bit more.
So far, Quezon really trying to get the post action early.
Yes.
There is a challenge early on from Coach Louie, not happy with that whistle. So we'll see if the challenge will be successful. We'll be back after the challenge.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful. Ball on the floor stays. Foul on number 22, Joseph Gabay.
Coach Louie obviously
Yeah.
not happy with that call. Let's see it once again.
You see it.
What do you see, Coach?
Otep holding on. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Might have a case. Pero sinasabi naman kasi ni Coach Louie, ang nipis. Ang nipis. Well, maybe it's because it's pre-season. They like to maybe have a little bit of freedom in doing that.
It's gonna be a wrestling match inside, Coach. We have Manzano, Gabayni, Macaloni, Rivero, Giab. Medyo marami-rami tayong mga pangalan na mababanggit sa loob ngayon, Coach.
And not just, maybe itong dalawang teams na naglalaban na ito, but if you look at the other teams as well, you talk Abra, you talk Mindoro, you talk Batangas. Grabe, di ba? Especially Batangas, I feel they've really leveled up, gotten themselves even younger and faster.
Really a leveled up ball game for each and every team here. Si Gabe Capasio playing a little bit of the guard forward position. Gives it Otep. Gives it up to Allen Mina. It's going to be a turnover. Well defended by Abate.
Yes.
Cañete goes to Dario. Dario with a bounce. Nothing there. Coach Louie not happy once again. A little high-low action. Quick pass coming from Mike Cañete.
There's a foul that was whistled after that basket make by Will Macaloni. One of the few schemes that you do to try and counter a ball screen action. You try and short it. You pass it to a third guy, and that third guy will now be the one to pass it over to the roller.
And that was executed to perfection.
Yeah, that's the hit by Otep Gabayni on Will Macaloni. I think that's the call.
You know, there will be a little bit of a beef here as Otep Gabayni is coming from the Quezon Huskers. But of course, his position will now be played by Will Macaloni because that is the role, that physical center. But now Otep Gabayni also put in a good situation dito sa Ilagan. Very interesting.
Oh, that's a foul.
It's a regular foul.
Yep.
Nothing extra para kay Otep Gabayni.
Parang ano no? To your point, ako yung dating nandyan
That's why there is a little bit of physicality. Nothing dirty. But you know, it's always going to be a physical game here in the MPBL.
Siyempre, Will Macaloni, of course, having come from Nueva Ecija last season. And, you know, a proud part of that program. And right now swings over to the Huskers. When I saw this news, I thought, oh my goodness, they've got a good delay big that can actually set it up from up top. And then comes the news of Manzano and Abate.
Talking about bigs of the Quezon Huskers, Coach, we would just want to pray for the recovery of Simon Sandagon that suffered a knee injury just a few days ago. So it's heartbreaking news. We know what he is capable of.
Yes.
But we know that he is going to come back stronger. Itong si Simon Sandagon. So we do hope the best for Simon Sandagon.
Yeah, without a question. I mean, he's one of the more loved players of the Quezon Huskers, and I'm sure the fans also, when they saw that news, you know, part of it
Devastating news.
devastating, right? Because you get crushed by those kind of news.
Group on over to the action. Abate goes for the three. Abate against Solis. It's going to be a miss. There's going to be a hold. That's going to be on Gabe Capasio.
Ngayon, mas mahigpitan na ang tawag.
Sorry. That's going to be on Will Macaloni.
Ngayon, mas mahigpitan na yung tawag nila. You know, it started with that Otep thing on that low block by Will Macaloni.
And extension.
Extension, that's right.
Allen Mina. Going back to Jerry. Gabe. Swings it over to Allen. A lot of ball movement being set out by Ilagan. They go to Gabe. Gabe, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Goes to Coco. Coco, 3 seconds. Goes for the three. Coco, a little hard, but the ball goes back para dito sa Ilagan.
You see the effort of Gab Banal as well.
Coco goes to Solis. We know that he can shoot. Solis gets the foul. and able to fish for one against Chris Lalata.
And that is exactly, I talked about this earlier, one of the reasons why some of the analytics heads would say a floater down the middle against a drop coverage is one of the lower field goal percentage, because you're trying to hurry that shot, and there are very few players at the elite level that actually are good at it, especially yung mga 2-foot jump stop. No?
You know, of course, we saw Mac Cardona really master that shot.
Ibang
Earlier,
level yun.
Ibang level yun.
Ibang level yun.
But earlier in the ball game, the second ball game, we saw Cyril Gonzalez. That's why we've been talking about that floater since the second game. But now J-Boy Solis also showing that he has a little bit of that capability as well. Oh, Diego Dario not really ready for that pass coming from John Abate, wanting to release that basketball to the corner early. Prince Rivero going post, looking for a backdoor, just a little too short on that bounce. Macaloni goes right, nothing forced. Goes to Abate. Abate for three. Gets his first basket of the ball game.
Sobrang pagkaveterano ni Will Macaloni. Doesn't matter. Kahit na i-double mo siya sa ilalim, he understands how to regain that composure and find the next guy that's free.
Now we talk about an MPBL champion, has been through the ups and the downs on any team. Will Macaloni really has that much experience here for the Quezon Huskers.
Yeah, no question.
Alan Mina goes to Solis. He has that jumper, just a little too short. Rebounded by Dario. 1 versus 4. Dario crosses over, uses the speed. Dario, with so much talent and skill, scores on the 1 versus 4.
Oh my God. Just that burst of speed. Little slow step, and then a quick first step down the middle. See how he lulls him.
Just have to watch this again. Just a little between the legs. Help side by J-Boy. 2 long defenders, but able to make it on the play before John Abate with that wide open 3.
Wise enough to go to that open spot near Will.
Okay, but nothing there. Goes to Gia. Mina gets the 3, makes the 3. Alan Mina finally on the scoring board.
And I'm happy that he's still taking those shots, kasi nagkaroon ng, ng struggle from 3 in the previous season when he played for Ilagan, but I'd like to think he's worked on it. He's trying to improve on it, especially here in the next regular season.
John Abate going for the switch here. Quezon 4 out of 8 early from 3. We do know that this is their strength, and the players that they added can make the 3 as well. Lalata goes inside. Rodel Gravera, too long, too strong. Getting the 2.
Rodel was always a player that stays ready. You know, we've seen him in the finals against Pampanga in season 6, and magsi-season 8 na tayo, pero ganun pa rin yung level of preparation para dito kay Gravera.
Versatility and the acceptance on any role, that is a specialty of Rodel Gravera. Diego Dario goes baseline once again. Too quick for any defender. Diego Dario with 4 points in the ball game.
Very deceiving yung speed ni Diego. He's not that fast, pero the change of pace, the change of direction, really, you're second-guessing yourself as a defense. What is he gonna do?
And the respect that they have for his shooting coach. They try to close out, but Diego with those dribbling skills, using that baseline as a friend. Jerry Pingoy left in the dust.
Oo, kasi si Jerry Pingoy, ginagawa niya rin yan. So alam niya kung ano yung next move, but to be up there ahead of a defender like Coco Pingoy, speaks a lot.
Quality minutes given by Diego Dario off the bench. This guy is always an instant scorer for any team he plays for.
Yeah. And, one of the high IQ guards that we have in the MPBL.
Go inside. Josh Gia was a little too long. Abundo trying to run. They go back to Dario. Same side. Well defended by De Los Santos. Abundo setting things up. Go to Lalata. Big to big screen. Lalata goes baseline. Chris Lalata a little too strong. Opportunity for Ilagan. Wide open. Alan Mina fakes the shot. Alan Mina swings. Kawilan open. There, coach, you have been talking about the 3, and they make another here.
Yeah, and you see that double gap already created by that drive. And I always have this admiration for the shooting form of JP Kawila.
Oh,
and
yes,
Zamboanga
Coach,
is
that's right.
so good.
Two-man game. Dario looking for a friend. Lalata swipe by De Los Santos. Good hand. Ball goes back to Quezon. But a little shuffle on the side of Chris Lalata. Sharp eyes by our referee.
Yes. Maybe wala lang space doon, pero you know, if there was not that crowded spot on the floor, I'm sure that would have been an easy basket for Chris Lalata, which is exactly why you bring him in. Peña Redondo is another three-point shooter here for the Huskers.
Yeah, adding size and shooting for the Huskers, but one more play available for Ilagan. Kawilan goes to De Los Santos. Go for a staggered screen, denied, but wide open. Beautiful read by J-Boy Solis.
Oh my! That's all you can say. There are executions, but that one's totally a different one. You have JP Kawilan trying to go out. You have your attention on him. Then you have that slip by J-Boy Solis earlier. This one, that ball screen that got shorted on that finish. And then Diego Dario going to work. Went to that side of the floor, left side on the baseline. It's been friendly. He's done that twice. Rejected that screen. Beat another defender once again. But yeah, quality basketball we've seen so far here in the first quarter.
Quality is an understatement. Coach Mike and I are enjoying 24-18 in favor of the Huskers.
Welcome back to the MPBL Preseason Invitational. Mula JRU, Josh Giab is taking that collegiate experience here in Ilagan as one of the anticipated new faces for the Cowboys. This 25-year-old key player is actually hailing from Pagbilao, Quezon, but why not get new learnings from a new team? Last time nga, nakalaban niya ang kanyang older brother, itong si Kent Giab mula Marikina. But on this game, it's all about proving his hometown what he got. Juanito and Coach Mike.
And then, a Quezon native in Josh Giab.
Yes.
He really wants to prove to Quezon that even though he's playing for another team, coach, that talagang pride of Quezon pa rin si Josh Giab.
Well, one might also say, close rin yan kay Coach Melky Villanueva, who's also coach. He's been pretty high on the Giab brothers.
Shout out to you as well, Coach Melky. Oh. Miss from Sed Manzano. Goes to Jason Opiso. Peña Redondo, quick swing. Wawa for three. He had 4 of 7 from their last game, but staying active on the glass. Sed Manzano getting that offensive rebound.
Yeah, and then we're going to go back to that missed shot by Joshua Riera. Last season, he would be fair to other shooters. But right now, once he's free, he's given that go signal to go and take it. And he's definitely earning it.
Oh, quick find. Jason Opiso wide open on the layup.
Miscommunication right there. You know, missed coverage on that scramble defense. You know, nakakalimutan nila Jason Opiso.
Jason Opiso getting his first 2 of the ball game. Giab goes to Kawilan. 2-man game. Quick swing.
Yep.
Finding an open inside. Just a little too late on the read. Solis still able to get the 2.
No multiple dribbles. Quick decision making. One might say on a 0.5 principle. You make a quick decision and find the next open guy.
I hope you guys can see me and Coach Mike. We are enjoying this ball game as basketball nerds.
Can somebody please put a camera on? This is like being in a candy store.
This is what me and Coach Mike talks about on the chat. And now we can watch it and cover it live together.
To do this and right in front of these guys, it's special.
We are enjoying this ball game. We go back to Sed. Sed on the post. Sed. Oh, little travel.
Yeah.
Right there. You have to credit the defense, Coach. It's so hard to defend Sed Manzano on the post.
That's right. I like that the help of J-Boy Solis really hung in there. Didn't move a spot, really waited for that spin down the middle.
Now, some new faces para dito sa Ilagan City Cowboys. Giab goes to De Los Santos. They're really getting a lot of minutes for Josh Giab. They go Galanza on the curl. It's going to be a miss for Bong. Peñaredondo putting the ball on the floor. Early two-man game. Peñaredondo shooting.
Good shot.
Peñaredondo showing that he has what it takes to be that 3-and-D for the Quezon Huskers.
And that is something that he was, in my opinion, hesitant to do when he was in Binyan. Well, very limited minutes, but again, a lot of freedom here. Shot by Josh.
And on the other end, Josh Giab showing his inside presence earlier, now showing that he can stretch the floor as well for the Ilagan City Cowboys.
That's right.
Interesting matchup on the post, but they go for a swing. Wawa, it's going to be a miss. J-Boy not getting a handle on that basketball. Ball will go to the Quezon Huskers.
Yep. One thing clear, ang habol rin talaga nitong dalawang teams na to is to get live turnovers, and so that you can run the other way and maybe have number advantage and possibly easier, chances to score.
Returning to the ball game, Cyrus Tabby and Will Macaloni, as well as Otep Gabayni for Ilagan. Macaloni drives baseline. Macaloni using the bank.
That's what you get with Will Macaloni. He was actually waiting for the pass up top, maybe to screen a corner exit for a shooter. But if it's not there, he's going to be the one to do the attack.
On the other end, Otep Gabayni showing that he also has what it takes on the low post. But there is a whistle on the side of the Huskers. It's going to be on Will Macaloni. Coach, the wrestling match continues inside, Coach.
Somehow alam mo na na preseason lang to, pero nakabasket si Will sa kabila. Kailangan bumalik rin ako, makascore ako.
There is an internal matchup happening between Otep and Will Macaloni, and it's something that we will be watching all throughout the ballgame. Timeout muna tayo dito sa MPBL. Quezon Huskers in their last game, Coach, 90-76 against Muntinlupa.
Yep, 90-76. Quezon controlled the game with depth and balance. Outscoring Muntinlupa in 3 quarters and dominating bench production in the end of the game. Yung depensa talaga nag-generate ng mga puntos sa kanila, especially of turnovers, and their interior presence very decisive. And that is something that I feel the Quezon Huskers would really need to build on in the coming regular season, because you got to get those rebounds. You got to get those defensive stops inside the paint. Sure, you got to make your shots from the outside, but the paint is still a key part of your scheme.
And that last game, really a successful game for the Quezon Huskers. Manic made a digital wallet built for the community.
Traveling called on Mike Cañete. And yeah, si Mike, I still think that he's a good addition para dito sa Quezon Huskers. The guy can definitely score, and he's very good on his feet.
One of the earlier additions for the Quezon Huskers in the off-season. Oh, quick post para kay Otep Gabayni. They're really trying to get him into scoring, Coach.
And I like how he moved on that. Again, you go back to the analytics heads, they would say the post-up is one of the lower chances to score, especially if you don't have a very dominant big man. And so what the coaches did to counter that thought was really to have a pin down of that big, have him spin and seal, catch and shoot. Or if he gets it on the post, spray it, reverse to the other side, and get shooters to score for them.
Well, knowing Coach Louie and his coaching staff, Coach Nixon is there.
Oh, Coach Alex.
Coach
Oh,
Alex
my.
is there. Coach, we know that options are gonna be unlimited para dito sa Ilagan.
So even last season when they played with Art De La Cruz and just J-Boy Solis, nakikita mo na yung schemes it's very wealthy yung options nila.
We're gonna have a whole season of schemes and offenses and options para sa Ilagan City Cowboys, and that's gonna end in a turnover, well read by the Quezon Huskers. And now Quezon wants to slow things down, opting to go for a timeout. A 10-point lead for the Huskers here in the second quarter. Now, Coach, let's talk about the last game, the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys winning on 18 points against our MPBL D-League team.
Well, the offense flowed through the efficient ball movement and strong interior scoring, highlighted by, of course, yung points in the paints nila and the help that they got from the bench. But defensively, they limited that D-League team to just a 36% shooting, which is pretty much the identity of teams handled by Coach Louie Gonzalez. A lot of pressure defensively.
Now we're seeing the pressure right here, right away. For the Ilagan City Cowboys, JL De Los Santos trying to pressure Cyrus Tabi. Tabi up top, they're trying to set up Jadel. Cannot find Jadel, hands it off to Jadel. 1-on-1 against JL. Fuentes goes to Tabi. Tabi with the fake, takes and makes. Cyrus Tabi getting that jumper off the right wing.
And see what he does after that made basket, he runs back.
Otep, the Gabay too long, too strong, showing the muscle inside.
Again, quick catch, quick basket off the post.
That's one matchup that we will be watching the next 25 minutes, Gabayni versus Macaloni. Now Mike spins. Mike, 1-on-1. Oh, just too good inside. Feet work for Mike Cañete.
Patented na yung galaw na yung kay Mike on that left low block. He always sees it that he goes to his footwork.
When I started watching him coach it, Bacoor, ginagawa na niya yan all the way now. Still patented from Mike. Numbers for Quezon. Fuentes, jumper, basket for Jadel.
My eldest loves the jumper of Jadel Fuentes, and one of the smoothest in my opinion.
Just cannot give him too much space. Jadel Fuentes is automatic given that space.
Right.
Ilagan on the offensive end. Otep goes cross. Ilagan drives. Oh, there's going to be a pull on the side of Quezon. It's going to be the third foul on Quezon. Lauren Brill is still without a basket here in today's ball game. Watch this again. Fake, step through, a little protection.
At saka ginawa rin niya yun against J-Boy Solis. Nakabisado rin yung mga galaw na yun. And this elbow jumper here, just a pull-up. Standard pull-up, defense dropping. What are you gonna do?
Ganda. It reminds me of Boss Sidelf with that jumper.
Oh, yeah. Ako nare-remind yata ako. Nakikita kong video mo. Yung mga stop and pop sa three. Yung nakikita ko eh.
Alan Santos, quick to contribute right away. Coach, I'm excited for this. Gabayni and Alan Santos, a lot of muscle on the side of Ilagan.
Yes, him, Prince, and Alan. That's a trio that's tough underneath.
And you're going to be playing for Coach Louie Gonzalez.
Correct.
That puts toughness as a premium. We saw it right there on the stop. Celerico gives it to Galanza for the three. Galanza has been struggling today's ball game.
We gotta be better in that situation. You had all the space that you needed. You outball Galanza. And again, you come up late on the defense. One of the more athletic Huskers running the break. Christian Pagaran's gonna finish it.
And Christian Pagaran has been doing it all inside, outside, from the running game or the half-court setup. Coach, you talk with the coaching staff of Quezon. They are very excited with Christian Pagaran.
Oh, especially with how he performed in the finals. I mean, parang magic bunot nga eh, no? Doon sa performance niya. And nobody thought that, there's that next level for him. Especially in that Binyan series where he was cutting weak side off ball.
Coach, do you see Christian Pagaran playing a bigger role here for Quezon in the next season?
I do, definitely. They're gonna need that, medium-sized athletic wing that can run the break with them.
And with that, Christian Pagaran, he actually gets them 9 fast break points, 9-0. Ilagan still yet to get the fast break point here in today's ball game. Lebrico goes to Galanza. It's gonna be a defensive foul. It's gonna be foul number 4 for Ilagan. For Quezon Huskers.
And those are moves that I think Galanza is eventually going to learn and to do on a consistent basis. Once you drop in the middle, you see that drop coverage, you got to go to your weak side. There's another shooter 1 pass away.
Bong Galanza, today's ball game, still with 0 points. His first point of the ball game, but already playing 10 minutes, which we're used to seeing Bong Galanza be an instant scorer. But why do you think he is struggling dito sa Ilagan early on?
Well, maybe getting used to these games. He played with different coaches. Last 2 seasons, he played for Coach Louis Alas when he played for Zamboanga, then swung over to Pangasinan where he played for Coach Gerson for 2 seasons, and now it's going to be Coach Louis Gonzalez. Give the guys some time.
Right on cue, mukhang narinig tayo ni Bong Galanza. He's showing that he's well deserving of his minutes. Bong Galanza getting his first field goal of the ball game. So double high, said Manzano. Hands it off to Judel. Judel well defended. That's going to be a miss. Otep with the rebound. Numbers for Ilagan. But Jerry decides to slow it down. They go post to Allen. LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Galanza using the screen. Trying to look for the friend.
Look at the battle between Manzano and Otep Gabayni.
A lot of physicality inside.
And they're allowing them to play in preseason.
It is the preseason, Coach. We keep on reminding the people who are watching, it is the preseason. It's supposed to be an exhibition-like matchup. Yet everybody is playing their hearts out here in our MPBL preseason.
Exploratory dapat tong preseason, pero parang something at stake, no?
See here, a lot of muscle inside. Otep using a little pectus, Malamarlo Aquino. But he will be fouled here, trooping to the line.
And I think more than anything, Otep Gabayni is really proving that, I earned this spot in Ilagan, which is why they went out of their way to get me.
People tend to forget that once when he was playing for Bulacan, he was actually number 3 or number 4 in the MVP race.
Yes.
And that is the capability of Otep Gabayni. But now he has chosen to play more of the physical route and just really play a big role for big teams.
Yes. Tsaka, huwag natin kalilimutan in that Binyan series, he played a major role.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you go up against Mark Pingris, you definitely sacrifice your minutes.
I was actually telling Coach, you would actually see the moment na nag-spark itong si Otep Gabayni that said, I am here to compete with Mark Pingris.
Oh,
Talk about competition. Jerry Pingoy finally on the scoring board. The former UEAP Juniors MVP showing he still has it.
Moved from Rizal over here in Ilagan, made a momentary stay with Pangasinan, I think, with Coach Gerson.
Zano goes to Dario. You cannot leave him alone, but that time he misses. Ball goes back to Quezon. Small to small screen. Goes to Fuentes. Wide open. Too easy for Judel.
Oh my. That first screener of a stagger is always very deadly, especially if he's a shooter. He just pops out and you leave him in the dust.
Perfect option. 6 out of 15 for Quezon. 4 out of 13 for Ilagan. Coach Mike was talking about how this game would be a 3-point shootout. On point, Coach Mike.
Yep. 27 attempts altogether through quarters. We're not even done yet.
See here, 3 versus 2 fast break opportunity. Coco Pingoy deciding to go for a 3. not even 20 seconds after Judel Fuentes getting it right back.
Yeah. Only because they're not switching on Diego Dario and really just leaves out that shooter in the left wing for Judel Fuentes. And they're playing the new age of basketball, actually. You know, get some threes, quick on the very first 8 seconds. So it's really threes, rims, and the free throw line, right? Yun naman pinanggagalingan ng mga puntos na yun. Very rarely do you see players that are really good and efficient on the midi game.
Basic basketball, but very efficient and very... if you can make it work, coach, it's really going to be to your advantage. And so far, that's been the name of the game.
And that's not to throw a knock on the middle game. Siyempre, may halaga rin yan, no? But that's the trend so far that we've seen.
Quezon going for a lot of space in this offense. Dario, a little extension on the hip coming from Gab Banal. Coach, it's the preseason. Whose fault is that when you call that charge? There's a little physicality.
Oh.
John Abate being the good guy, the good soldier. I've heard stories talagang magaan daw kasama nung si John Abate.
Oh, yeah?
But coach, just going back to that screen action off that handoff, should the screener be moving or?
No way. What you're supposed to do when you screen is that you allow the defender to see you and so that he can avoid you. And in that instance, parating pa lang si Coco, sinalubong na niya So that's the right call.
Good defense by Coco Pingoy right there. Mina tries to go inside, no option. Alan Santos trying to challenge Shed Manzano. A little push, but just a little short. Rivero getting that offensive rebound and 2 free throws for Prince.
You know, back in the day in the PBA when they had the Bruce brothers, these guys, Alan and Prince, might be the new age Bruce brothers right now.
Really showing old school physicality. Nasa bench pa dyan si Otep, coach.
At huwag mo kalilimutan, nandyan rin si Sir Glenn Capasio.
That's right,
sa
that's
bench
right.
ng Ilagan. And so, I'm pretty sure may mga discussion about that.
No, coach, we've been watching Coach Louis from LaSalle to JRU to the MPBL. Physicality has always been part of the game para kay Coach Louis. And he has pieces right now that really fits his puzzle.
I have never asked Coach Louis this, but now I'm very curious. Sa NBA, sino yung favorite natin? Baka Detroit Pistons yung mga bad boys.
Chuck Daly pala ni Coach. No, marami siyang Bill Lambier dito.
Pwede rin Boston Celtics. Boston nila, against the Lakers Magic Show.
Dario deciding to go for the last shot. Wants this one-on-one. Dario looking for that switch. Goes up against Rivero. Knows he has that speed advantage. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Kick to Banal. Swing to Peña Redondo. Peña Redondo could not finish the quarter. It's still a 10-point lead for the Quezon Huskers here in the first half, coach.
But again, in that last possession, you had the right guys in the right spots on the floor. You had that one more pass over to the corner, but really just couldn't make that shot. But still, overall, that scheme works well for the Quezon Huskers.
Quezon Huskers leading this game so far, well in control with this 10-point lead as we head on over to our halftime break.
Nanonood pa rin po kayo ng MPBL Preseason Invitational at para po dito sa ating halftime, kasama po natin one of the assistant coaches mula Isabela. Kasama po natin, of course, Coach Alex Calawing. Good evening, Coach Alex. Of course, right now, medyo nagsistruggle itong Ilagan Isabela. You're currently down by 10 points. Ano po yung pwede nilang pagtuunan ng pansin heading towards our third quarter?
Well, maraming bagong players still there. We are still catching up on each other na nagkaakilalan pa lang hanggang ngayon. But the system is flowing. It will just be a matter of time pa kung kailan namin makilala yung sarili namin through identity. Yun lang.
Agree with you, Coach Alex. No? Nasa proseso pa talaga itong Ilagan Isabela. Is there anyone na gusto niyo pong pasalamatan or batian? Go ahead, Coach.
We want to just say thank you to our management, especially to Boss J.O. Diaz, Board Member Doc E.J. Diaz, Vice Mayor J.V. Diaz, Boss Ricky Lagi, Mayor J. Diaz, and of course, Governor Rodito Albano. And of course, my family, my wife, Angie, our family in Dubai and sa Bataan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Coach Alex. Once again, one of the assistant coaches mula Ilagan Isabela. Magbabalik po ang MPBL.
halftime break here at the MPBL Preseason Invitational 2026. And the Quezon Huskers are up by 10 points here at halftime. Look at the numbers right here. Coach Mike, what can you see here at the numbers?
Well, pretty good shooting, 45% and 46% respectively, Quezon and Ilagan. But I wanted to focus on three-point shooting, free throws, as well as turnovers and points of turnovers. You see right there, yung 3 points, talagang nga naman sa side ng Quezon, volume and shot make. 35 and 30, pretty decent para sa dalawang teams na to. But you see Ilagan really getting more to the line. It's only because of, they have more presence inside the paint and they have a lot of action going downhill on flares and pin downs. Samantalang defensively naman, doon naman nagkakaroon ng advantage itong Quezon because they were able to force 9 turnovers on Ilagan, to which they got 9 points off of it. So, different styles of play, pero, very similar in a lot of ways.
Look at the leading scorers right here. Fuentes with 8, Pagaran with 8, Macaloni with 6, and Tabi with 5. And on the other end, para naman dito sa Ilagan, we have Giab with 7, Mina with 5, Solis with 4, and Kawilan with 3. So both teams really playing a balanced attack. But coach, what does Ilagan have to do here in the second half? They're playing terrific offense. They're shooting 46%, but they're still down by 10 points. Ano bang kailangan nila gawin para makahabol here in the game?
Well, first you gotta make your free throws. You're shooting only 50% from the line, which, you'd like to think that they'll be better at that. Second, you gotta avoid turnovers because every time there's a turnover, immediately converted into points para dito sa Quezon Huskers.
When you look at the numbers as well, there are 14 more attempts for the Quezon Huskers here in the day's ball game. So that's been a factor as well. And entering the second half, still going to be the same first 5 for the Quezon Huskers. Just switching up Will Macaloni for Mike Cañete. But on the other end, it's going to be a little longer para dito. Allen Mina now in the first group here in the third quarter. Start on our third quarter here, 45-35 in favor of the Huskers. Tabi goes post right away. Pagaran with a jumper. Pagaran will miss. Kawilan trying to speed things up. Solis, they're gonna go staggered for Kawilan. A lot of action. Kawilan, there's gonna be a push. Oh, and that I think is gonna be an ankle sprain. We saw it right in front of us.
I was gonna say the defense was stalling. Not so much weak side movement, contrary to how Ilagan played earlier. But he went down, holding on to that right foot of his.
I think an accidental
Yeah.
step dito kay Christian Pagaran. Foul called on Pagaran.
Hopefully he's okay.
It seems to be just shaking things off.
Mhm.
I mean, again, coach, we've been talking about the toughness is part
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of the things to be able to play para dito kay Coach Louie.
Okay yung toughness, pero iba rin yung flexible.
Yeah, tama. Tama. It just makes me proud as a batchmate to still watch my batchmates, coach.
Oh, naman.
Still playing right here. JP Kawilan is still there. Gabe Capasio, Coco Pingoy, Diego Dario. These are my batchmates when I was still playing. But ako, coach, masaya na lang ako dito. Nakatabi ka. Mag-cover, magkwentuhan na lang tayo. But it's just so good to see that they're still there and playing tough basketball. See Josh Giab. Oh, just a little too strong para dito kay Josh Giab.
Well, there are some things that you really have to live vicariously through others. No? Yung ginagawa ninyo, parang ako na rin yung nandyan.
Said Manzano, single post coverage. One-on-one against Solis. Lefty on lefty. Too long, too strong, too good. Said Manzano gets the basket and the foul.
And just to show how difficult that coverage was, you saw how far he was from the post. Where did he end up? Right in the middle of the paint, going to that left-hand finish. J-Boy Solis had to contend with that from the mid-post all the way to middle of the paint.
Coach, you see the old school post action being played by Sed Manzano. Any players top of your mind that reminds you of him?
Oh. It's tough really to find another guy like him. I'm going to talk about that later.
Okay, as we turn you over first to courtside while Coach Mike thinks of his comparisons.
Bonito ni Coach Mike, no? Itong kanina nga, si Sed Manzano, itong si classmate, ay nanggaling pa sa kanyang klase sa Adamson. Well, in terms of hardship and juggling these responsibilities, hindi naman nabago sa kanya yan. This 22-year-old, as he is more likely known or called, no, baby boy, since actually from Romblon siya at simula elementary hanggang high school, opposite spiker talaga siya o naglalaro siya ng volleyball. Kaya walang duda that he can be entrusted in both offense and defense here in his newfound team for the Huskers. Balik sa inyo.
Multi-sported pala. Itong si Sed Manzano, that's why really the versatility of a Sed Manzano can be seen. Coach, any comparison? Meron ka bang naisip?
Bago ko dumating sa comparison na yan, meron akong dalawang na-discovery kay Cedric sa report na yan. Unang-una, nagbabalibol siya.
Yes.
Pangalawa, kaprobinsya ko pala to, taga
taga
Romblon
Romblon.
din.
Okay.
Kabayan! Now, going back to that comparison, well, maybe the closest that I've seen recently, maybe a Vic Manuel down on the low block. But if you want to be maybe medium-sized guy on the post-up, I'd have to say Rob Celis.
Rob Celis. Good comparisons, Coach. Really a lot of comparison para ito Sed Manzano, only 22 years of age, but there's a little commotion here. Coach Louie not happy. And there is a timeout here. So we'll be back after the break. MPBL crowd in attendance here. Medyo puno tayo here on a Tuesday night here at the Paco Arena. No home game, but people are enjoying our action here at the Paco Arena. 48-35, still in favor of the Quezon Huskers. Yet to make a basket is Ilagan here in the third quarter, Coach.
Well, only because I feel yung mga early sets nila medyo mas nag-stagnate no? Compared to movement nila earlier in the first half.
Oh yes, that is Doc board member EJ Diaz that we just showed. Team manager. As you see Mike Cañete cutting through the middle. Mike Cañete getting that basket, extending the lead to 15. A foul is called right here.
Yeah, as Gia was trying to post up against Cañete.
Here, beautiful two-man action coming from Cyrus Tabi to Mike Cañete.
Outside hand for a pass down the middle.
Screen, they go corner. Mina, that's his shot. Too
Yes.
easy for Allen Mina.
Too easy for Allen Mina.
Which I always like that action. Screen the screener.
Yes.
That gets you open.
On a
because
baseline out of bounds.
On a baseline
Right.
out of bounds. It really gets a lot of action. Because if you help out, mabubuksan naman yung ilalim.
Yes. For the most part, lumalabas yung two on the ball situation. And so you have to take what the defense gives you.
JL De Los Santos goes to J-Boy. That's his shot as well. No, the shots of J-Boy are straight, just not going in, Coach.
Yes. Step in three, you know, ang daming best ng ginagawa yan ni J-Boy Solis even back when he played for Coach Mike Sagigit.
Wawayero goes post. Same defender. Off balance. A little pull the chair action coming from J-Boy, but they're lucky that the ball stayed on the white side. Mike Cañete will through for two.
Gusto ko yung labanan na to dahil sa poste, J-Boy Solis versus Cedric Manzano. Maybe a little bit, no, power maybe on the side of Cedric Manzano, but talk about smarts defending that post area. J-Boy's got to hold his own.
So we might be talking about size. J-Boy Sol is not really the widest, but this guy's also 6'5", 6'6",
Yes.
coach. Can stand his ground.
Yes. And very smart, too.
Very smart. You know, coach, if you're coming off a triangle offense
Oh,
of Coach
yes.
Mike Sagigil,
Yes.
everything will come easier
Yes.
afterwards.
And speaking of smart, you know, one guy is pretty smart, I think. He's playing for Mindoro, celebrating his birthday.
Oh, yes, sorry.
RJ Ramirez.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. Happy birthday, RJ.
Happy birthday, RJ. I think they're having a party now in Mindoro. I'd like to tell
The former, di man lang tayo na-invite,
Oo nga.
ni Mayor Ina.
Si RJ, alam mo naman yan, puso niyan, talagang basketball
Oh,
na
yes.
basketball.
You
Eh.
can see the passion in every game.
Indeed.
You see, Coach, before they went out, the passion they put in that playoff game, you really saw the heart and a very exciting season for the Tamaraws.
Yeah. He says he's only 23.
Ooh, would you believe that, Coach?
RJ, we love you, man. Happy birthday.
Hey, Solis. For the first time we're seeing Miguel Ona once again here. Ooh, what a beautiful backdoor coming from Solis to Bonga Lanza. Just could not
Yes.
make that layup. But they'll have 2 free throws on the line.
Yeah, it's very similar to the pinch post action. You know, J-Boy saw that the defender was trailing behind, and so he got to pass it ahead. And Galanza caught that, but missed that layup.
Lanza getting the first free throw. Still a struggle for Ilagan. Only 3 points here in the third quarter. We're talking about a great offense played by Ilagan in the first half, but still here in the first 3 minutes of the third, it's been a struggle for Ilagan. And Doc member EJ Diaz, team manager, seen there on the screen. Turnover for the Quezon Huskers. Substitution on that 4 position. Chris Lalata moving in. They will be adding size. John Abate will also be returning para sa Quezon Huskers.
And I'm sure, you know, both coaches, both teams, medyo pulling some cards din, no? Tinatago rin nila close to their chest because you can't be all out in the
That's
preseason because you're just giving everybody what you're gonna do.
You know, I heard here, Coach, dito sa Quezon Huskers, once you actually play already a few good minutes, they'll actually troop you over to the bench to give others opportunity. Pero ang mahirap dito, pag maganda lahat ng nilalaro sa Quezon Huskers, which is what is happening right now. They're trying a lot. Eh?
Oh, wow.
Ooh, could have been open.
Missed it. Clearly missed that open spot.
You saw the frustration by the coaches.
Yes.
They're able to execute well, just not able to find the open shot.
There you go. Thankfully.
They would rather have a 3 rather than a 2.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 3-point shot for Bonga Lanza. Now Huskers with a basketball. Manal. They go pinch. That's the action that Coach Mike has been talking about.
Yeah,
Give it to the pinch before they go for a high-low.
yes, you short that 2-man game. Ganda nung you know, drop pass na yun over to Bonga Lanza. Tex Winters would always say that's the shortest pass of the game.
Diego Dario inbounding. Gonna look for that corner 3, but Diego goes middle. Diego defended well by JL. Releases to Gab. They go for that same action just from a different angle, and now it works on their side, getting 2 free throws.
So long as they continue to switch, that is going to be a look for the Huskers. But if you don't, then it goes downhill. Doon na lumalabas yung mga backdoor eh.
They've been trying to go for a lot of ball movement here in the second half.
Yeah. And what makes this game pretty interesting is that very seldom do you see multiple dribbles. No? Maybe 3 dribbles at most. You give it to someone else and have him create. And then you see the weak side, a lot of man movement.
Chris Lalata goes 0 out of 2. Chance for Ilagan to cut this into single digits. They're gonna go single double. There's gonna be a hold on Lalata. I like how they're able to eventually go to a single double, coach. Might be one of the older systems, but they have a lot of actions after
Yeah.
that.
Tsaka marami mga flopping ngayon na ano na eh, na deceiving talaga
Yes.
eh. You like to think na simple, you know, go to the wing lang yan, pero there's another action that comes up.
Bongalanza making the first free throw. I like this guy, Miguel Ona, coming off FEU, a tough-minded player, but he actually reminds me a bit of Josh Giab, having the same role in FEU, but eventually would have the same growth. So Coach Louie really knows the players he is recruiting.
Yung mga DNA, no? Certain requirements in terms of player profile. And definitely, you can't be half-hearted if you're paying for Coach Louis Gonzalez. You got to be all in. You got to be that tough.
And so far, toughness has been the name of the game. They actually force a turnover on that last play against John Abate. Otep, who's post once again, tries to go middle. Quick hands by Will Macaloni. Abate, we know that this is his strength. Tries to go post. Dalata. Diego opts for a two-man game. Diego drives against JL. Well defended by De Los Santos.
Yeah, they've been wanting that matchup with Diego Dario and JL.
Mina drops it to Otep. Just a little too deep for Otep Gabayni. Diego with the rebound. 3 versus 2. Abate drives. Abate uses his body. Almost a basket and one for John Abate, but he will have 2 free throws.
And just to show how smart the players are on the floor. You see that drive already, that ball got swung over to Abate, but Mina was not going to the paint. He was going, fading to the corner, anticipating a one more pass over for Diego Dario.
But so far, free throws has been a struggle. Chris Lalata has missed his last 2. Now John Abate missing on his next free throw. All of a sudden, Quezon is 6 out of 9 after going 6 out of 6 from the free throw line. Make that 7 out of 10.
And the free throw's a vital piece of that 3 rim and line, you know, way of scoring, because you're pretty much undefended and you've been doing it on repeated instances, and so you should be good at it.
Lauren Brill returns to the ball game. Had a little shooting on the side of Ilagan. JL decides to go to Ona. Hands it off to Bong. Bong, no space to go. Kicks it out. Ona, does it have it?
Yeah.
He has it. Miguel Ona stretching the floor for Ilagan.
Given that freedom to take that shot. When everybody was going to the right, that ball got swung over to the left, and defense not seeing that.
And coach, this is something we did not see from Miguel Ona when he was playing for FEU. But we were saying there is so much growth in the players of Coach Louie, and now there is a green light for Miguel Ona to take that 3.
Yes, because at that instance, you saw Chris Lalata immediately drop coverage, thinking that Ona was gonna die, but he stayed in there, got that shot.
Miguel Ona now stretching the floor for Ilagan, showing that he can shoot that 3. Lalata on the other end, showing his own version of the stretch.
2 things that I loved there. He flashed up on the middle when they couldn't get the ball directly to Will Macaloni. And second, saw that he had a shot and took it.
Now the 4 guys are showing their thing. LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Watch that again.
Yeah, nothing in there. He got 3/4 on the top side. Kita niya, drop coverage si Otep. Ira-rise ko na to, titira ko na. Hindi ko naantayin na mag-high-low pa with Will.
And you have to credit the read of Gapanal in that last play. Real De Los Santos will now be trooping to the bench. Baini hands it off, but this time around they fight over. Coco, 1-on-1 against Abate. Fake. Hands it off, no option. Coco kicks it out. Bong with a fake. Takes. Not a make. Brill keeps it alive. Coco Pingoy sees the opening. Lauren Brill makes the second chance opportunity. Lauren Brill with his first 2 points of the game.
The many times that they've had chances. Oh, steal here by Coco.
Quick hands by Coco. Ona. Oh, quick read by John Abate. Gets that block.
Wow.
You love the effort brought in by John Abate.
He's been relentless.
Now on the other end, Chris Lalata heating up from the mid-range. Coach might be a little old school, but Chris Lalata
yeah.
is making it work.
Yeah, wouldn't mind if you drop coverage against me on the midi game. Gotta take that if you're Chris.
A 4-point swing going the side of Quezon. Now Gabayni attacking Will Macaloni. They are doubling on Gabayni on the drive. Abundo brings it forward. Abate on the baseline. Abate goes to the other baseline. And too good, too open is Gab Banal getting that three, getting the lead back to 11 here for Quezon.
Caught it in one motion, catch, and then straight up for that attempt.
Now Otep.
Ooh.
Oh, there is a push coming from Coco. Looks like John Abate got hit on the face. There might be a review here.
And they gotta review this.
Watch this again, coach.
Ball got picked. This was that block by Abate on that drive by Ona. Then on the other end, that drive by Abate, that skip over, baseline drive, baseline drift.
Of course, the corner has been a staple in
Yes.
the modern day basketball. Why is that so, coach?
Because that's the shortest distance. And so when you look at, again, you go back to the analytics head, they always say, if you have a corner free three, you gotta take it.
And there is a call. It's going to be a charge on Coco Pingoy.
Offensive foul on number 14, Coco
See the shoes
Pingoy.
of
Substitution, Michael
John
Nieto,
Abate.
David Macaloni,
Ano nga ba yan?
Actually, we are curious on the shoes of John Abate.
Alam mo, may isa pa akong curious na sapatos, yung suot ni Diego Dario kanina.
Ayun, ano yun, coach? Adidas yun, sure.
Ah, okay.
Adidas yun. But kay John Abate, I'm very curious what it is. John Abate. Oops. Coco with the dive. A little physicality, a little action, a little hustle.
Yeah.
And once again, everybody showing preseason.
Oh.
I don't mind. My heart and soul is in the game.
Actually, I saw one of the officials say, guys, exploratory lang to.
Anong exhibition? Walang exhibition. Pag naglaro tayo, puso ang labanan.
Oo naman.
Everybody's putting all out hard there in the preseason.
Ooh.
Oh, that's going to be a push on Coco. There's been a lot of action with Coco Pingoy
Yeah.
and John Abate, but John Abate is keeping his cool here. Let's watch this once again. Lauren Brill off balance. Gives it to John Abate. Medyo sinalo ni Coco Pingoy dun sa landing. Nothing dirty. Coco Pingoy, I think that's the second or third foul already.
And quickly here in the third quarter.
That's gonna troop them to the penalty. That's gonna be 2 free throws for John Abate.
But I like the demeanor of John Abate. I mean, he understands you're in the MPBL. The physicality here is a little bit different. You got to be able to absorb it and keep your cool.
You know, that's really one of the biggest adjustments para sa ating mga collegiate guys, that
Yes.
when you troop over to the MPBL, this is a man's league.
Oh, yeah.
And the physicality really is on point, but you have to credit them for adjusting their physicality as well, and that's why we are enjoying elite level basketball here in the MPBL.
Yes. But on the upside, if you go on, move on to the next level basketball, wherever it is, somehow nasasanay ka na doon sa physicality.
Right, talk about physicality once again on the post. Mike Cañete fouling Otep Gabayni for 2 free throws.
I like that Otep also is very active, you know, moving his feet, trying to figure out where his advantages is on the spot on the floor. And again, not deferring to his other teammates for either shots from the outside or dives, seeing if he can do it by himself.
We did miss the Otep Gabayni that got a lot of post action in his earlier days, and now I think Coach Louie Gonzalez is giving him that green light.
Oo. I mean, sabi nga nila, aces in their places.
Art de la Cruz in support of the Ilagan City Cowboys. But if there's one struggle of Otep, it's really been the free throw line in today's ball game. Doc, board member EJ Diaz, once again on your screens there.
Always very supportive of his Cowboys.
Yete, that's a miss on the midi. Now Coco tries to go to Allen. He sees the lane. Allen Mina too easy on a fast break opportunity.
Alan Mina had two options, to run wide for the three or to run closer to the lane to finish with the layup.
Allen Mina already with 9 points here in the ball game. Swing, Coco Pingoy, almost a steal. Yabanal choosing to slow things down. Abate trying to execute their play. Abate with Cañete. A rescreen by Cañete. Abate for the three. That's another miss for John Abate. 2-for-1 opportunity para sa Ilagan. They go post. Otep with the size advantage, but there is a double. Otep, too long, too strong, too good. Otep Gabayni finishes with a 2.
Oh, workhorse in that situation. And if you're Otep, you definitely got to show that to your team.
Otep Gabayni cutting the lead into single digits, and what's good is the ball will return for Ilagan here. Abate with Lalata this time around. Abate showing his skill left and right, east to west. John Abate with a finish. There's going to be a push from Chris Lalata.
And you just love preseason.
I'm loving the competition between these two, Coach. The pride in them winning is so high.
You see how special your comeback here is? The quality of games that we've had today.
And I am loving my first day back in the MPBL, Coach.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Coach.
Coach, I think there's one thing. It's actually the culture of winning. Either it's the preseason or the main season. Winning is a culture. And I think both coaches really want to imprint that in their minds, that winning, no matter where, is a culture. And you see the competition, Coach, talagang bakbakan.
Oo, totoo naman yun. And you know, it has to be ingrained in you. And these coaches, Coach Eric and Coach Louis, and then their assistant coaches as well, who understand the importance of keeping that culture.
Prince Rivera posts 2-4-2, cutting the lead back to 8 here. The last possession will now be on the side of the Huskers, but press will be brought out by Ilagan. Quezon able to cross that basketball. Abate, 3 seconds remaining. Step back, Abate. That's going to be a miss from John Abate. It's going to be an 8-point lead for Quezon entering the 4th frame.
And so far, through 3 quarters, we're seeing the toughness of Ilagan and then the resolve of the Huskers. Now we're not going to get affected. We are just going to keep on playing.
That quarter was actually won by Ilagan, 21-19 plus 2 for the Cowboys, and a better showing for the Cowboys 3rd quarter, Coach.
Oo, totoo naman yun. And well, maybe at the start of the quarter, medyo stagnant yung offense nila, but they recovered well. Same thing for the Huskers. You know, John Abate going to work, feeding shooters in the corner and, you know, making something for himself.
3 quarters in, 64-56. We'll still be having our 4th frame. Fourth and final quarter of your MPBL preseason. The third of 3rd games. And Quezon Huskers well in control of this ball game. They go high post to Jadel.
No, wow.
Bounce to Sed Manzano. Coach, talk about that play.
Well, split action. You get that ball on the elbow, and the two guys converge. This time on the baseline, depending on where the defense goes. If the defense trails, then that's going to be a curl. If there's nothing happens, then one breaks the paint and the other goes to the ball. And nung nakuha niya ni Judel Fuentes, short roll si Cedric, and then that beautiful pocket pass by Jadel.
You know, I was talking to some of the coaching staff. They said hindi pa 100% comfortable, talagang adjusting pa. But so far, you have to be happy when you're the coaching staff coach when you see them connecting like that. And 1 out of 2 for Ced Manzano in that last play. Ooh, just a little too hard on the swing coming from Prince.
No, had the right idea. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. You get the ball on the post, you try to swing it over to the weak side for shooters. You know, one other shooter that keeps me in mind pag ang mga ganyan, si Ken Pangilinan nanonood daw ngayon.
Oh, Ken
Shout out
Pangilinan.
daw.
Definitely my favorite knockdown shooter.
Oo, alam. And then jogger na yan ngayon every morning. Nakakadalawang araw na yata yan si Ken.
Ito ang kondisyon. Si
Oo.
Mr. Ken Pangilinan.
Correct.
Yan ang pangarap ko, coach. Makalaro yan si Ken. Hindi nag-aaya eh.
Talaga? Sabi, Ken, mag-iaya ka raw. Laro kayo ni ni Coach Manitz.
Coach Louie, very detailed in this ball game. A lot of adjustments. And that's going to be the beauty of our preseason, coach. They have a lot of time for them to adjust in our main season.
Oo, totoo naman yan. But yung mga holdovers rin ng Quezon Huskers have, embraced already the culture and know the schemes and really will help out the new guys that come in. I think the same is true for the Ilagan Cowboys.
A lot of holdovers para dito sa Ilagan. You have Alan Mina. You have guys like Alan Santos still in the program. Oh, and Gabe Capascio with that fadeaway from high school all the way to the MPBL. I have seen that work for Gabe Capascio.
And it was a good shot. You know, you do a little catch and shoot situation, spun, and saw nobody defending him, had to take it.
Ced Manzano just too long and too strong, winning that one-on-one battle against Prince Rivero.
Una-una, hindi ganun kadali para, iusog mo yung depensa, pababa, palalim ng palalim. And you have to have really good, powerful legs to do that, and Cedric has that.
JL goes to Ona, another 3 for Ona. But this time around, it's a miss. Quezon trying to push, Rodel Gravera. It's going to be a miss for Rodel, but he gets the ball back. To bring you extreme, ang subok at kompletong appliances brand ng Pilipinas.
Sabi ni Ken, ayaw ka raw niya kalaro kasi gagawin mo lang siyang cones.
Wala na, retired na to. Ken Pangilinan, retired na to.
Naku, babawi ito si Ken pag siya nalalaban.
Looks like it's gonna be a troop substitution para dito. Kay Coach Louie. 3 bigs returning to the ball game. It's gonna be a lot of size para sa Ilagan. Solis, Kawilan, and Guillaume. Not just size. And also, them able to stretch the floor. These guys can shoot the ball.
Yes. Back pick, handoff. There you go.
Gabe Capascio goes to JL. They go post. Guillaume goes to J-Boy.
That's the movement that I've been looking for, that we saw earlier in the first half.
Better mall movement, but Quezon getting a foul there. That's going to be foul number 2 on the Huskers.
Interesting rin yung pagpasok ni JL Del Santos dito, no? Sa Ilagan.
Few years of experience from the PBA, but
Yeah.
JL now returning with a lot more experience. Yeah, 1-on-1, asking for a foul, no whistle. Opportunity, Peña Redondo goes middle, Gravera pulled down. Gravera trooping to the line after making the last 2.
If you consider Gravera, Pagaran, and Simon Sandagon, I like to think they're homegrowns, no? Let's talk about the leg.
As we turn over to our court side, Daphne, what do you have?
When you turn, Coach Mike, you've been very curious about this pair of shoes that this former Warrior John Abate is currently wearing. Well, just to assure you, it is really a basketball shoes, pero underrated to. Ang brand niya is serious player only. As John described, no, a bit up and down. Itong sapatos na to, he trips and fall, but definitely he loves it. At he was he was just really smiling the whole time I was asking him. Pero take note ha, may konting punit yung pair nung inobserve ko. Balik sa inyo.
Well, may mga ganun talagang players, coach. No? Pag talagang loyal sila on their pair of shoes, kahit may onting damage, but seems like he is enjoying his pair here. There's going to be a pull. It's going to be a J-Boy Solis once again.
What did she say that brand? Serious players?
Serious player only. It's merong ganong brand, coach.
Pero mahal yun, alam mo.
I think so. That might be
Sa pangalan pa lang,
pretty rare
Oo.
brand. J-Boy Solis.
Oh, that's very rare. That shoe looks good.
Solis will be trooping to the bench. Bonga Lanza will be returning here, as well as Otep Gabayni. Said Manzano showing he can also put that ball on the floor. Judel, you want to go post. This is a new matchup that we'll be having. Manzano versus Gabayni, and Gabayni wins that one.
Yep. And only because he stayed with Cedric Manzano in there.
We haven't seen a lot of Manzano versus Gabayni. We've been seeing Macaloni versus Gabayni, Lalata versus Gabayni, but now this is going to be a new matchup. Go Otep. Oh, they go staggered screen. They go to the Lanza. Quick hands. The ball stays with Ilagan.
And if you're Coach Louis, you love that Joseph is actually moving his feet. No? Once he got that handoff, went immediately on that away stagger to set up that rise to the top by Bonga Lanza.
Well, there's a challenge coming from the Quezon Huskers here. We'll be back after the challenge.
Upon review, the challenge was inconclusive. Therefore, the challenge has been nullified. Initial ruling on the floor stays.
So the ruling is inconclusive. So the ball will still stay with Ilagan. Obviously, Coach Eric not happy with that inconclusive challenge.
Yes.
Good hands by Sed Manzano, getting the steal right there. Tabi. Good matchup against JL. Tabi using the Manzano screen, goes out to Gravera. No option, hands it off to Fuentes. Fuentes with a three. Not a make, but quick hands by Peña Redondo. They go back to Joseph. Oh, that's gonna be a travel. Just a little shuffle on Joseph.
Sayang, he already had that shot. Even if that closeout happened, I would have been late. He was already had that ball released.
You actually see, Coach, the bench. Everybody wanted him to take the three. Decided to go for a drive.
Kahit tayo.
You're already ready for the three.
Oo,
Pero
eh.
that's gonna be a learning process para dito kay Peña Redondo. They go high-low. Otep using his hands too deep. para kay Otep.
My goodness, nakita mo yung tulong ni Cyrus Tabi. Ang layo ng tinakbo niya.
That is the respect they have for Otep Gabayni on the post.
Yes.
Fuentes, just an early two-man game, likes this matchup, goes for the bounce.
Yeah.
Ooh, and a sorry miss for Sed Manzano.
The moment that JP Kawilan got screened, they were already in trouble. You can't get screened because if you do, then it becomes a 2 versus 1.
Because I don't know if you saw it, but when they switched, Judel Fuentes started smiling.
Yeah.
I do not know why, if he saw it, but when there was a switch, there was a smile on the face of Judel Fuentes.
Yeah.
Would have been a highlight, pero nagbintis lang on the right-hand finish itong si Sed Manzano.
Yeah. At the very least, you have to be, into that handler para hindi kayo magkakaroon ng ganong kalaking separation. You have to make yourself smaller and thinner.
Sed getting the first free throw. Manzano on the second. Oh, goes 1 for 2. The struggles continue on the line for the Huskers.
The only guy who's in double digits, both teams included, is Galaz. He's got
That's
10.
right. A really well-balanced offense for both teams. A lot of opportunities. JL goes two-man game, just a little too low. Tabi with the numbers. Tabi flies high. Tabi finishes the fast break.
Yeah. You might have lost LJ Gonzalez, but boy, the talent that you gain in Cyrus is something else.
Oh, really in the heart of Cyrus getting that dive and the steal. Numbers for Quezon.
Incoming.
Fuentes to Opiso. The CEU connection does not succeed with that three. But Coach Judel has been enjoying. He's been smiling the
Yes.
past few possessions.
Yes.
He knows that he has a lot of advantage. Let's watch this again. Cyrus Tabi outrunning everybody, looking like the new age LJ Gonzalez for the
Oo.
Huskers.
Nakaliwete,
Nakaliwete.
Ibang klase. Ibang klase rin yung pagkaka-elevate. And, the speed at which he plays the game is really something that you gain as a Husker.
TJ Falebrico will return to the ball game. Sabayani. Going to go post. Rivero versus Opiso. Rivero, one-on-one against Opiso. He's trying to use his feet. That's going to be a miss. Opiso with a rebound. Jason brings it to John Abate. Abate decides to slow things down. Goes middle. Goes one-on-one. He knows that he has a speed advantage. A little hesitation. Abate. Terrific defense by Coco Pingoy. John Abate will get a turnover off of that.
Yeah. And he's taking it to Coco Pingoy, actually. Parang merong in-game na labanan na to. The game within the game.
Coco Pingoy successful with that stop. ManiPay, the digital wallet built for the community. Joseph Gabayni taking it hard against Will Macaloni, and this time around, he succeeds.
Wala masyadong reaction si Coach Louie, pero in his mind, yan ang gusto kong makita sa'yo.
Well, they've been giving a lot of post action to Otep Gabayni. He has not made a lot. And on the other end, the quick answer by Will Macaloni, Coach.
Oo, sagutan rin lang itong dalawang ito. And players allowing them those touches. And, palitan nga, ika nga, di ba?
It's a judo matchup. It's a wrestling matchup. Physicality on physicality. Gabayni answers again.
Oh. Yeah, that might be tough for Will to finish. Kaya napatravel siya dun eh.
It's on the right side. Not really the comfort zone of Will Macaloni.
Yeah.
That is the stop that Ilagan wanted.
Right. The only time that the right side is going to be comfortable for Will Macaloni is kung siya yung nasa poste.
Oh, yes.
So, kasi pakaliwa, madali para sa kaliwete.
And now they decide to rest up Otep Gabayni. They've gotten what they wanted. And now Alan Santos turns for the wrestling match.
Yes.
Bong sees Alan. He has that range. Alan Santos will miss this time. Wawayero with the rebound. We go to John Abate. No need for Quezon to rush. Will Macaloni says slow things down. Two-man game. Abate likes the switch. Abate goes hard. And if you're a 6'1 guard, that is too much of an advantage.
Tsaka nagustuhan mo dun, hindi niya pinilit yung kaliwang finish, no? Binalik niya sa kanan, and he went bored on that attempt. And understood, may parating na contact, i-absorb rin natin yan all the way to the finish.
One of the few guys in double digits, John Abate, in this ball game, 10 points and 1 assist alongside 3 steals for John Abate. Bonga Lanza, 12 points in the ball game as well. Still a lot of adjustment para dito kay Bonga Lanza.
Eventually, he'll get a knack of it. And syempre, yung rotation, yung substitution patterns rin ni Coach Louie and his staff, they're trying to figure out who goes best with who.
You know, Coach, one thing I'm loving about this matchup, the coaches keep on talking. So alam mo, Coach, siya talagang marami silang i-adjust at maraming rotations na susubukan pa throughout our next few games.
At saka, oh my!
The fan favorite gets his name on the board. He has been a big request coming off of Quezon, and he shows that he deserves that spot for the Huskers. Dom Vera gets his first 2 on the ball game.
I threw everything in there, which brings me back to my statement earlier. Gravera, Pagaran,
Vera.
Vera, and Simon Sandagon. Those are all homegrowns, right?
Yes, Coach, they are.
Okay.
And Dom Vera is a fan favorite.
Yeah.
If you actually watch our comment section, it's actually Dom Vera and of course Topeng Lagrama that they really are looking for. So well loved itong si Dom Vera sa Quezon.
Yes, I was going to get to Topeng also. You know, you think about the talent of basketball that Quezon has. I mean, these 5 guys, really good representatives of how these guys play.
And of course, a proud Lucena native, Dom Vera just made everybody proud with that drive. But with still 2 minutes exactly left in the ball game, we go on a timeout. .8 seconds on the shot clock. A chance to execute para dito sa Ilagan City Cowboys. Big boy looking for an opening. Galanza on a corner. That's a miss, but that's the execution they wanted.
Yep, definitely. And ang ano lang dito sa fourth quarter, maybe it's, you know, little relaxed time para sa Ilagan. This is the lowest scoring quarter that they've had. Not even in double digits. They only have, what, 8 points so far. And that's where I felt the difference has been.
You know, Coach, one thing we love is that there is no panic button on the side of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
A lot of trial and error para
Yes.
dito sa Ilagan. And we are very excited on the future. We talk about homegrowns. Felebrico is actually one of the homegrowns para dito sa Ilagan. And as well, the fans are excited for what he can bring to the table para dito sa Cowboys.
These are 2 provinces that are very rich when it comes to homegrowns, and which is why I think Coach Eric, including Coach Louie, have really, you know, come to love the region,
You know,
the
Coach
province.
who is from Ilagan? Oh, sorry, he was from the Isabela.
Oh.
Very proud. LJ Gonzalez.
Oh yeah,
from
yeah,
Isabela.
I remember that.
Abundo
LJ.
missing on the shot. Jerry Pingoy pushing the ball.
That's
Rico.
that's a heck of a story as well. With LJ.
Was a very proud member of the Quezon Huskers for 2 years. Now playing well in the PBA. Now the question is, who is next in line for the Quezon Huskers?
Yeah. And I clearly have memories of when they won that South Finals against Batangas in the home floor of Batangas, and the parents of LJ was there. I mean, I got goosebumps, you know, understanding that how hard it is from as a kid. You really aspire to be a basketball player, and to get to that level and see your mom and your dad watch you for the very first time. So, such a special story.
Coach, when we talk about LJ Gonzalez, really heartwarming. It's very hard to hate on LJ Gonzalez. Whatever team, whatever division, everybody just loves LJ.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a guy that really brought out a beautiful story here in the MPBL.
Yeah. Ibang klase din talaga yung story.
Lebrico missing on the shot. And Quezon deciding not to take any more shots. They will be winning this game 85-64. Beautiful offensive ball game para sa Quezon Huskers.
Yes. Execution was really good in the first half. Second half, I'd like to think that both coaches experimented a little bit on substitution patterns, but I also would like to believe that both, you know, have takeaways in this game, which they will bring back to the lab, and so that when the regular season comes in, they would have already solved it.
47% on the field goals para dito sa Quezon Huskers. Look at the other stats as well. They made 7 3-pointers, 70% on the free throw line. One of the stories, plus 14 on the paint para dito sa Huskers. But one guy that made it work inside, outside, and well in control of the ball game, John Abate, getting his name on the board. Well-deserving of our player of the game honor, Coach.
Yeah, why not? 12 minutes of action. He had 10 points and a 3 of 6 shooting from the field. He was 1 out of 4 from 3. And, you know, just overall contribution for John Abate, whom a lot of the fans in Quezon are really looking forward to.
Coach, we are asking who the next LJ Gonzalez can be. But now John Abate is putting his name on the table. He might be the next superstar of Quezon, getting the player of the game honors. And asking him about this ball game, let's turn you over to Daphne.
Hello, Juanito and Coach Mike. Right on cue, we have here our player of the game for the Quezon Huskers, John Abate. John, congratulations on this win. You're labeled as the future of Quezon Huskers. What can you say about this?
I didn't even know that. But, you know, this is a family, and I really appreciate that I'm welcomed in this family. They treat me like brothers, and I'm happy to be here.
How are you loving your new team so far? And also, can you share with us a bit of a story about your shoes? Because they're very curious about it.
I'm loving the team, like I said. I'm happy to be here, and I want to make most of the opportunity. For my shoes, though, they're SPO, aka Serious Players Only. You can find it at Green Hills on the 2nd floor. You know, I love these shoes ever since I signed with them, and be rocking with them for a long time.
All right, thank you so much. Is there anyone you would like to greet? Go ahead.
I want to say hi to my family. Thank you for everyone who watched. I want to say thank you to Governor Helen Tan, Boss RD, Kong Mike, Doc Kim, and Mayor Ralph Lim. Hi to Malik, Kobe, and Calix. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sean. And once again, congratulations on this win on the side of the Quezon Huskers. Sending it back to you guys.
John Abate getting his player of the game honors, the first of many for sure. But tomorrow, we will be continuing our preseason invitational. Sarangani versus Batangas at 3. Jensen versus Mindoro at 5. And then Abra versus Binyan at 7 o'clock at the Alonte Sports Stadium. 3 beautiful games of basketball, and we end it with a win with the Huskers. For our production crew, for me, for Coach Mike, for Daphne, this has been a beautiful day for the MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.